Number 14. Now what do we observe? There are many ways of doing a particular question. This is also one of the way. So what we will do in this particular question, we will just write it like this. 1 plus y minus is equal to minus under root 1 plus x. I will just try to simplify it. So we will write squaring both the sides. So I will write it like this. Y square 1 plus y. We will just multiply. So we will get x square y is equal to y square plus y square x. Then what we'll do, we'll write it as x square minus y square is equal to y square x minus x square y. I can just apply the formula a minus b, a plus b, and we can take yx common here, so it is y minus x. If I cancel these, I'll just get a minus sign. So this will be x plus y minus yx. So if I take y on one side, it will be like this. So y can be written as this. So minus x upon 1 plus x. So if I differentiate it up by quotient rule, what will I get? I'll just get the solution as minus 1 upon 1 plus x whole square. Right? So question number 15. So what we have, x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to c square. We have to prove that the expression that I have written 1 plus y1 whole square whole power 3 by 2 upon by 2, where y1 denotes the first derivative, y2 is the second derivative, is a constant and is independent of a and b. So we need y1, so we will just differentiate. So 2x minus a by chain rule, derivative for x is 1. Over here the same, y minus b, derivative for y will be y1. The derivative for c square will be 0. So from here we can say y1 is, if I bring this to the other side, so minus 2x minus a upon 2y minus b, right? So 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So this will be my y1. So y2, I'll just use quotient rule, y minus b as it is. Derivative for x minus a will be 1 minus x minus a as it is. Derivative for y will be y1 upon y minus b whole square, right? I'll just put the value for y1, it will be y minus b. This will be x minus a. For y1 it is minus x minus a upon y minus b, right? This is y minus b whole square. So we'll just take the LCM over here. So this will be minus sign here, minus minus plus. So this will be y minus b whole square plus x minus a whole square. This will come to the denominator and it will be y minus b whole cube. In the numerator, we observe that y minus b whole square plus x minus a whole square is equal to c square. So this is minus c square upon y minus b whole cube, right? Now let's put everything in this particular expression that we want. So 1 plus y1 whole square means x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square. This whole power is 3 by 2, right? And over here this is minus c square y minus b whole cube, right? So let's take the LCM. So this will be y minus b whole square plus x minus a whole square, and this is y minus b whole square, and this whole thing is 3 by 2, and this is minus c square y minus b whole cube, right? In the numerator, just observe y minus b whole square plus x minus a whole square from the original question can be written as c square. So I'll just write it as, so we will write it as c square y minus b whole square, and this whole power is 3 by 2, and this is minus c square and y minus b whole cube. So this 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So we'll have c cube y minus b whole cube into y minus b whole cube, and this is minus c square. This will get cancelled, this here, so we will have it as minus c. Hence we can say this is a constant which is independent of a and b, and this is c over 16. Now what we observe, cos y is equal to x cos a plus y. We have to find dy by dx. So over here, this is one of the trick. What I'll write it as this, and instead of finding dy by dx, I'll find dx by dy, and then I'll just invert it up. So we'll use quotient rule. So cos a plus y, derivative as it is, cos y derivative is minus sin y, derivative of y with respect to y will be 1. This is the point that you have to remember. Then cos y as it is, cos a plus y derivative is minus sin a plus y, derivative for y is 1, and this is cos square a plus y. In the numerator, you can observe the formula of sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So it will be sin a minus b. So a plus y minus y upon cos square a plus y. So this we can cancel. So we can write the answer as dy by dx is equal to cos square a plus y upon sin a. Right? Moving on to question 17, again a parametric form. Now what is the difference here? We have to find d square y by dx square. And upon checking the board papers also, what I have observed, 95% students did mistake in this particular question. I will tell you what is the mistake as well. So we will find dx by dt. So it will be a minus sin t plus this will be t as it is, derivative for sin is cos plus sin t. This will get cancelled. For dy by dt it will be same, a cos t minus cos t, and this will be minus t as it is, derivative of sin t. This will get cancelled. So dy by dx will come out to be as a t sin t upon a t cos t. So this will be tan t. Now when we have to find d square y by dx square, the derivative will be sec square t and derivative for t will be dt by dx. This is the main important thing. We have to substitute the value of dt by dx, which is n in the denominator. So a t cos t. So I can write my answer as sec cube t upon a t. Right? Many students, what they do is they find d square x by dt square and they find d square y by dt square and then they divide, which is absolutely wrong. We have to find d square y by dx square like this by finding dy by dx first and then differentiating it again. 21, it says, does there exist a function which is continuous everywhere but not differentiable at exactly 2 points? When we were doing differentiation, I told you that this is the function when we write the sum of two modulus functions. It is continuous everywhere but not differentiable at exactly 2.0 and minus 1 here. Similarly, I can construct n number of function, go through that video of differentiation again, and if it is a 4-marker question, if only we have to give the example, we will give the sum of any two functions. Modulus function, if it is discontinuous, non-differentiable at 2 points, we will write sum of 2. If it is 3, we will write sum of 3, right? But for the detailed proof, go through the video of differentiability, right? 18, it says fx is equal to mod x whole cube. We have to find the second derivative if it exists. Okay, so if we write the definition, according to the definition, it will be mod x whole cube. We'll just write it like this. It is, if x is greater than equal to 0, it will be x cube. If x is less than 0, it will be minus x cube. So if I write the derivative, it will be 3x square if x is greater than equal to 0, minus 3x square if x is less than 0. This was a 1-marker question this time. So similarly, you will write 6x minus 6x if it is x greater than 0, if it is x less than 0. So this is how we write the second derivative for modulus, right? Question number 19 says we have to prove that this derivative is equal to this by PMI. So we will say for n is equal to 1, the result is 2, the derivative for x is 1, and over here let's see what we are getting. This is LHS, and for RHS also I'll get 1, so result is true. So for n is equal to k, we assume the result is true, so we will assume that this particular result is true. Now for k plus 1, we will prove the result, that is xk plus 1 upon dx is equal to k plus 1 xk. So we'll start the result from here. So what we will do, we will just write it as d of dx x into x ki power k, right? Then by product rule, we will say x as it is, derivative of dxk upon dx plus xk as it is, derivative of x with respect to x, right? So this we use the previous result, which is xk minus 1 plus xk into 1. So now if I take xk minus 1 common, what we will get? We will get it as, if I take x ki power k minus 1 common, let's see what I will get over here. If this is x, this is x. So we can write it as xk. So this will be xk plus xk. So we will take xk common and we will have k plus 1, and hence the result by PMI. Question number 23, what it says, y is equal to a cos inverse x. We have to prove this result. So just observe, the derivative will be ex is ex. Derivative for cos inverse is minus a under root 1 minus x square. We will just write under root, whatever is in the denominator, just take it to the other side, and in place of this I will just write y, right? I will just use product rule here. 1 minus x square as it is, y1 derivative is y2. First derivative will be second derivative, right? Then y1 as it is, this is root x, the derivative will be this, and by chain rule it is this, so minus a y1. So this will get cancelled. If I take LCM, this will be 1 minus y square y2 minus x y1 is equal to minus a y1 under root 1 minus x square. So from here, under root this can be written as minus ay, and hence the result, right? So be at home, stay healthy, stay safe.